I'll get into that.
So again, for all y'all that just joined, this is Forex League Live. We normally start off, go over the fundamentals, and then now we're going to get into all the pairs that we're looking at for today, and we're going to maintain some trades. So here's DXY.
Right, so as we said, DXY, we want to see it kind of play within this range because this is the sweet spot. Anything above this resistance level, this structure level, is kind of overvalued and actually, again, has a negative effect on other, safe haven currencies. So it's good that we're seeing some consolidation and some play between this range here. So let's go to a 4-hour and see what happened on this little 4-hour bullish trend. Right, so this is that 4-hour bullish trend. Still pretty bullish, but it is breaking structure at the moment. So we are seeing a bit of dollar weakness, which again is fine because we want to see it play within this range. It is still pretty bullish on all relative timeframes, but it would be nice to see it, kind of play within this area again, maybe hit this monthly once more and then come back up. So for now, again, 4 hours bullish. Daily's bullish, but for right now, it seems like the market is just taking a bit of a breather, which is what we want to see. We don't want these giant swings, right? Because if we do get these giant amounts of volume just surging into the market, that's not good because we're going to see all these other currencies kind of move in a sporadic way, and it's not really tradable. But for right now, it looks like we're getting some good movement, some good healthy movement, which kind of resembles a normal market conditions. So we're looking pretty optimistic as far as potential trades on other pairs. So let's keep going. Again, DXY is kind of just playing within this range and is kind of on the decline. So right now, AUD USD, this goes along exactly with what Angelo just said with the news, how he said we're starting to see a more of a bullish outlook for AUD and NZ as, the bias is, it appears that they're through the woods, they're out of the mess, and, it seems promising for their economy. So that's why we are getting these bit of bullish moves. So we do have this clean transition to the upside. We broke through resistance right through the 61.8 fib level on a daily. And it seems like it's forming pretty good structure now. We got this 4-hour bullish trend. It's pretty steep. I see no reason why we can't reach this weekly, the 78.6 area at the very least this week and potentially into next week. So I'm just going to draw this highlighted zone here as a target for you guys so you can clearly see it. Go to market as yellow. So again, the ultimate, the ultimate trend is bearish on the daily, right? And it's going to remain bearish until we get 100% retracement and then a break of key resistance up here. But it doesn't mean we can't look for, shorter term long opportunities up into key resistance like this weekly and so on. So one possible scenario.
Oh, damn, this thing really broke above and retested that.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. So I would like to see something like this. You could get a 1-hour, entry based on this setup right here alone, right? So we're getting key structure formation. Let me just go ahead and mark this up with this blue, and I'm going to mark it at 50. That's where I think that's a good zone. All right, so something like this. If you were to enter on this, right, we're just riding the 4-hour trend. This is a intraday move. That's it, very intraday because the overall trend is bearish. Again, this would be a counter trend trade regarding the daily. So let's go ahead and drop to a 1-hour again so we can see where a potential entry could be. Right, let's say we get this retrace. We know we're going to the weekly. This is our next key resistance level. It's the next major zone. There's really nothing stopping it other than this level here, so which is quite a ways away. So if we do see a retrace, right, I want to see a retrace into the support, broken resistance, turn support, followed by a strong bullish engulfing, morning star, exhaustion, etc., something like this potentially. You get that bar pattern out, right? Something like this, exhaustion plus a bullish engulfing, followed by a nice strong leg up. Something like this, guys. I want to see something like that, all right? And then, this is about 150 pips. Good trade. We can definitely protect it with a nice tight stop loss, giving us a good risk reward. Again, this is an intraday trade. Intraday. This, I'm only going to take this if I see the exact setup I want, because again, it is counter trend. If we're looking at the higher time frame. So okay, so we're going to be risking 65 pips to get 150. This is a 2.3 risk reward. This is a great potential trade, right? We just want to see those confirmations, and then we're in. So this is one setup on AU, right? Because our bias had changed, right? It broke this key resistance. We were short, but then it broke significantly, tested a support, gave us bullish setups, and now we're looking for longs. And that's it. We just changed our bias because, yesterday we were looking pretty short on this. We were seeing what had looked like a double top formation, right, with this prior high. And then we were expecting a bit of a drop off, a transition at this support. Never saw it, right? It just kept hiking higher right off these MAs. And that's fine. Sometimes, it doesn't play out. It's just a forecast. It's just a trade idea, one potential scenario. And when that idea becomes invalid, we'll just change our bias and reanalyze. And that's exactly what we did here. So we're looking to go long now into this weekly. And as this plays out, if it plays out, we get that perfect setup. We'll then give a call on it and put it out in the Discord. Excuse me. So let's keep going here. See what else we got. I'm going to move on to AJ. Again, it's looking very similar. Yep. Same scenario as AU for the most part. Is there a question?
Still waiting.
Everybody.
Ricardo De Novo. What are you waiting for UCAD? What's up, Julian?
Look at this one. Same scenario. Looking pretty freaking bullish. Let me just go ahead and mark this up.
What on AJ? Yeah, AJ's been breaking some levels here.
Pretty steep level. Ultimately, again, I mean, this would have been a nice entry a couple hours ago. What was that, about 7 hours ago, roughly, that this had executed. We saw a huge wick. We saw break of resistance, tested support. It wicked the 200 EMA, the lower time frame MAs as well. Gave us a nice bullish engulfing. Could have had a long opportunity here. We're going to target the weekly. But if you were to re-enter, let's go ahead and drop to the 1 hour and see. Same thing as AU, right? We're looking for the exact same thing, basically. Just a little bit of a retest, giving us more of a conservative entry. So I want to see something like this. Something like this. And then we're going to target higher. I'm going to line off this 1 hour structure. Somewhere in the median, right at 68 here. Boom. Whoops. Hold on, what happened to it? Where'd it go? There it is. So right about here is where I want to see a little bit of a retrace. A nice bullish engulfing, and boom, I'm going to be in. We're going to target towards this weekly. Again, this looks just like AU. Something like this. Let's see, we're looking at almost 200 pips. We'll call it 190. Wow, this computer is really sweating right now. Holy crap. All right, so this would be roughly 80 pips to get 190. 2.38 risk reward. Again, this is a great potential trade setup, and we're just looking for those confirmations. So, guys, we have 2 plays here just on AUD pairs, right? So it's AU potential long, AJ potential long. I'll post these after this. I'll just post these updates in the Premium Signals chat, or Premium Signals Analysis, Premium Analysis channel. So look for those, guys. I'll be posting them after this. Let's keep going. So, I mean, EU is looking a little iffy right now. Not the best. I mean, it is approaching 38.2, which is good. Maybe we'll look for some short opportunities up in this area. It all depends on how it reacts to 38.2. But right now, right, if USD keeps dropping, I think Euro is just going to keep appreciating. It may even blow through this area, right? If USD keeps dropping. So we'll see. We'll see. If not, a nice rejection, something like we saw over here, how we saw price action come up, reject, and then push lower. And we could see something like that. Rid of this. Whoops. Get rid of that. So we could see something like this if we see a key rejection. Again, we just want to see that transition. You want to get in on the lower high with a nice bearish engulfing, or evening star, something of that nature. And then we'll be looking to target short. Again, this still needs to develop a little more. I don't think we're quite there yet. Same with EJ. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on these Euro pairs for now. I think it still needs to develop quite a bit. What are we at now? We're at the 50% for EJ. Yeah, so I'm not going to make any calls on EJ. I do want to see this area touch the 61.8, the weekly resistance, just because there's more confluence there. And I never really like taking trades off the 50, so I'm going to push that one aside for now as well. NCAD I want to cover for you guys because this actually did not play out how we thought it would. I was expecting more of a dump. I was expecting it to drop out of this area completely. I saw a bit of a double top here. This zone, to me, seemed pretty good. It seemed like this was a clean transition, but the bears didn't have enough momentum to keep pushing into this, new 4-hour bearish trend.
Right.
Instead, it kind of just formed an inverted head and shoulders, and now is kind of breaking out to the upside. So again, the bias had changed for NZCAD and AUD, as Angelo said. I do want to mark this head and shoulders just so you guys can see it.
What, the inverse?
Yeah, just so you guys can identify what something like this looks like. This is a bit of an inverse head and shoulders, right? I don't know if you guys can see this well.
No, yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and this was the neckline that it broke. Then it retested multiple times in this area, giving a good long opportunity once it had broken here. So, there was definitely some potential long opportunity in this area.
Yeah, this thing looks like it's gonna take off
like
into that.
Yeah, no, this is definitely gonna go higher. I just want to see if this was a potential pennant in here. Not quite. Nah.
Yeah, again, same thing as GU yesterday, because I'm gonna go over GU, and we told you with GU, if you were gonna take a trade that was a little bit late, you gotta just put your stops in the right place. So
right.
NCAD right now, if you're trying to get in on NCAD, just put your stops in the right place and use 1%. Cut your risk in half on something like this.
Right, exactly. Good, very, very good point. So right now it seems to be taking off. We're definitely going to look to play to this upper zone here. So I'm going to line off a couple things for you guys, where potential structure would be. So I'm going to do 845. I like where that's forming. Damn, I'll do that again. And where is it? 845. All right. So for potential entry, because it is late, as we said, we're looking we want a quick pullback, nice bullish engulfing, and then we can look to target higher towards the 857 area. Whoops, where is it? 857, close enough. Right, so then what would this look like for a potential long opportunity? You want to get down engulfing, target higher, call it 110 pips, right? And then we would do about a 50 pip stop. I would even go 55. Do 55 pip stop loss. And this is a 2-0. 2-0 risk reward, 110 to get, risking 55 to get 110. So this is a good intraday trade. If we do see this, quickly retest with a nice bullish engulfing, either on a 30-minute or 15-minute even, some sort of confirmation saying that, hey, this is going to continue. And right now it's looking pretty good, right? We had this strong push, this flagpole, bit of consolidation, which is normal market movement. And then, here's that continuation. These strong bullish setups coming up out of this consolidation. So this is looking pretty good, at least for this long bias now. So we'll be watching this. Again, we're going to put this all out in Discord for you guys, potential setups. And I want to cover gold with you guys real quick because we covered this yesterday. Right now, it's going nuts. Even since 5 minutes ago when I sent this to Angelo, it's already moved up another 100 pips. So absolutely insane. I actually got in on this on a personal trade. I saw this consolidation happening. This level has just held so well. Unbelievable. It's just all these wicks, all this exhaustion at this level, really, really proving itself today in the last week that this is truly a safe haven commodity. And you can see just how much demand there is for gold. So it keeps making these strong pushes higher, this consolidation, strong push higher, consolidation, this one especially. And then now
this thing's taking off.
And now here we are again, another push higher, right? So I got in right around here, right? So I got in right on this break. My stop loss was a little bit tighter, and I targeted 1675. So this is right where I was going. Where's my TP level? 1675, there it is. So I was about 2-0. I knew if it got to this level, I'd be happy with it. It was about a 200 pip trade for me. And I closed at this area. I closed 100% of the trade at this monthly resistance. Again, I did leave some on the table, right? It just surged about another 100 pips or so, which is fine. I really don't give a shit. We did pretty well. I usually don't trade gold that often. You guys got to know when to, cut your losses and take your wins. So, I mean, this is part of it. I really don't care. 200 pips is pretty good for gold. So I'll take that any day of the week. But I just wanted to show you guys because of how this is forming, right? So we're not seeing these higher time frame structure levels hit. We're just playing based off of news and this consolidation and normal just market movement. And it is gold, so it does move a little differently. We should probably do some sort of live session just on gold at some point and commodities even. But oh, I got to cover oil too, actually. So yeah, I just want to show you guys this quick trade of how I was logically taking this trade and why I took it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. Let's take a
Hell yeah.
look at oil. Somebody said oil. So all right. So right now we've identified some zones for oil. This is pre-OPEC meeting, right? Obviously, so let's just be aware that there is major freaking news coming. But this is basically the area we're staying below this resistance level, right below $30 a barrel, right? So, more specifically, we're right about 28. We're below 28.80 per barrel. But we do see it, finding resistance at this level here as it has in the past. Now we have these minor support levels in this area, right around 25.50 per barrel, about $23 per barrel. So we've been seeing it bounce in this area. Right now, it broke out of this range between 25 and 23, right? Looking like it's staying in this upper quarter of this range here. So right now we're seeing price action stay above $25. It's rejecting, using it as support, and it's staying below 29. So right now, in order to see a huge move to the upside, we need to see this 29 area break. We need to get above $30 per barrel. Until that happens, I really think we're just going to stay in this area. If the OPEC meeting doesn't really solve any problems, doesn't give any solutions as to like how we can fix this or how we can stabilize oil prices, it's going to stay bearish. So until that happens, we need to see a break. We need to see something like this, just to give you guys a little idea. So it's bearish until this happens, okay? Very, very bearish until this happens. All right, so here we go. Right, we want to get on a higher low after support, after resistance was broken, turn support, and then we'll be looking to go long, target towards the monthly and so on. Let's just take a look at the daily outlook real quick and just show you guys how bearish it is. So like this zone is so key. We need to get above $30 a barrel. Otherwise, we're not going to see any real movement to the upside. So until that happens, or when that happens, right, then we can start to target towards 35. Then we start to target towards 40 and 45 and 47 where a monthly is and so on. But until that, we're waiting for this to break. It's super, super bearish until that happens. So, hopefully this OPEC meeting helps us out a little bit. We'll see what comes of oil in the next week or so. So yeah.
It's also looking like it's looking like a very interesting. I guess I wouldn't say it's a inverted head and shoulders this entire 4-hour pattern, but it's definitely hit a low and it's definitely coming back right
definitely now. Yeah, $20 was a huge area, right? We just saw it dip. It dipped just slightly below 20, down to 19.30, 19.40 cents. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, I mean, we don't really put out any commodity signals, but it is good to make you guys aware. So
yeah, it's interesting.
That OPEC meeting right now, high impact.
Well, right now.
Yeah, it seems like it's processing.
So yeah, we'll see how that comes out. What's the deal with Russia? They don't have any coronavirus cases?
No, they do.
They do? They're just locking it down?
They're being bastards.
Is this the dollar index? Oof. Nice dump. All right, so is that everything you wanted to cover?
Yeah, I went through what I prepared for you guys. DXY, AU pairs, AUD USD, AUD JPY. Again, we're staying away from the euro pairs right now. I covered NCAD, gold, and oil. So
yeah, Russia's not dependent on you. Yeah, that's right. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. All right, I'm gonna share up.
Exactly.
I'm gonna share up. Let's take a look at what's going on. We got UCAD had a little dump here, coming back. Putin bought Tigers from Joe Exotic. Keep going. Yeah, dude, that show is crazy. All right, let's take a little look at UCAD. So UCAD loves to do this. For anyone that doesn't trade UCAD loves to range and loves to fuck around with your emotions before it makes the ultimate move. So daily time frame, for those who have been watching our webinar or watching our live sessions, we're just trading out of this zone. We got some lower movement on UCAD. That's that little trade that we took. Let's get down to the 4-hour where we see things a little bit more clearly, like the overall picture here. Overall picture on UCAD. Yeah, UCAD. See, yesterday I took a little intraday, tried to go long on UCAD. This is why you just don't trade with the trend. stick with the overall trend of what's going on. Plus, it was stuck in a range right there too. But obviously, making a lower low, hitting this 50% level so many times, then ultimately this is what got us in on that trade. Let's bump down to the 1 hour and just take a look at the 1 hour. What's going on? 1 hour time frame. This is current structure. We've been rejecting this 618 level 1, 2, 3, 4 times. UCAD loves to do this 4 times. Like, could we retest again? I don't know. I don't know if we have the patience to retest again at this point, but I'm gonna stay in the trade. I'm gonna see. Obviously, we just closed with some seller's exhaustion, which is definitely something to take note of. But at the same time, this is a key level. We came up, rejected, came up, fell through the moving averages. So right here is pretty much our structure. This is what we're basing everything on right now. Until we break this, nothing's doing for us. And we're just going to continue to maintain this basically until, this level is broken or we head lower. On the downside, this is going to be what we're looking at once we reach this level. This is a key support level right here. This 4 hour level that previously was like hit on the nose. 4 hour resistance, turn support. That level we need to break. Once we do confirm that level being broken, ultimately we'll head lower. See how the 4 hour closed, 4 hour engulfing right here. That's significant. We're below the moving averages. So this is definitely a high probability trade right now that we're in. So let's just be patient, see how things play out based on this level and, continue to hold. Let's go over to GU. Obviously, GU we covered yesterday. We were talking about waiting for a pullback. Let's go over what the entry on this potentially could have been. Yeah, it's just UCAD loves to range like that, and it's so annoying. Yeah, GU was a great trade. So basically on the daily, let's bump all the way up to the weekly. GU had this weekly bullish engulfing, which has just led me to be more bullish than bearish at this time. We're retracing, I would say, up to this monthly level of resistance, down to the daily. Obviously, 4 bullish candles in a row. We just went over gold so far, so you go watch in the replay. You can check it out. Let's go with that. Obviously, on this daily time frame, 4 bullish candles in a row, and then a lot of consolidation. Again, when we get to the top of these pushes, what do we look for? We look for patterns. So what we were looking for was some sort of pattern, and we got our flag pattern, low, high, low, high. So we were looking at it like this. We had this 4 hour level of resistance that broke. We retested that, and we got this huge bullish engulfing candle. So that's why this is all buys. And we saw this yesterday on the live session. We were up here. And I told you, if you wanted to long up on the live session yesterday, you just had to put stops down here. I marked this yesterday. I haven't moved this. You know what I mean? This is what it is. This is what's going on with GU. I had longs up at this high. If you had waited, where would your entry have been? Realistically, we were up at this 4 hour level. This is a 4 hour zone for sure up here. I drew this based on just this previous rejection right here and then support here, support going all the way back to here. So there's definitely volume in this area like that we could push off of. And ultimately we got a little pullback like down to this area. And this is why sometimes it's good if this opportunity, as good as it was, this was our best entry here. This is where I entered up here and had my stops all the way down here. My targets still give me a 2-0 ratio. I just lowered my risk. And, that's why sometimes you got to be flexible. Breakout style entries. There's 2 different entries. Breakout style entries and then pullbacks. Pullbacks and, taking the very, very safe entries like at these higher lows and lower highs. So gold or GU, at the moment, obviously we just made a new high right now. We've gone up a considerable amount, but what we were talking about was where we might see the ultimate pullback now is this 200-day moving average. So if you're not in this, we could pull back at this point. We could now pull back and get a little bit better of an entry. Maybe retest this level again and find another long opportunities. Let me just pull over So this was my previous fib. Let me bring this up. So if we were to fib this new, obviously we hit 38.2 engulfing, like, and support, 3 confirmations right there to long. Now we're hitting these upper levels. So yeah, pretty much we'll see if we have enough momentum to just keep going with this right now. If not, what I'm looking for ultimately is retesting this red zone. Retest this red zone. I'll draw out a little arrow for you guys and we'll drop this analysis. All the analysis will drop after this. You know, I'm looking for this. Looking for a retest of that red zone. And then if we get some bullish confirmations, we'll head up, back up to the daily time frame. You know, we'll head up, or actually let's hit the 4 hour. We'll head up to this monthly level of resistance. This is ultimately what we're targeting, you know, with our original idea right here. So now we're hitting this 200-day moving average. Look at this wick too. This is the top of this range right here. Multiple times this wick was hit, like right here, right where price is right now. So I think we could potentially get a little bit of a pullback. Or, you know, other scenario would be if we break above this level, 200-day and this resistance. If we break above here and retest this, then we could, you know, see another long opportunity present itself. So GU obviously long for now. Let's go over to USEF. USEF, I personally took a little trade yesterday. Let's see what's going on with the daily. So I'm still maintaining this other trade. Daily time frame, you know, I know there's a lot going on here, but daily time frame, bearish, supply zone, 200-day moving average, huge bearish engulfing candle right here, boom. So 4 hour time frame, bearish, broke this level of support right here. This is our fib, low to high, or high to low, hit 88.6, double tops here, found resistance, you know, then we fell out. Now at this point, we just closed a 4 hour engulfing, which is definitely major. But again, you know, like we talk about with these deeper retracements, you know, we're gonna get we're gonna have a trend form on the lower time frame. You know, on this lower time frame, we're not going to just go from, you know, 100 to 0. We're gonna range. Like right now on this lower time frame, we broke out of this little channel I had drawn. We took that entry. Now we're down in this area, consolidation around 38.2 on this fib. So right now we're fibbing the 1 hour. We're fibbing the 1 hour. We cycled through time frames. We're maintaining this 1 hour trend. We're bearish on multiple time frames right now. So we're maintaining this 1 hour trend. Hit 38.2, 1, 2. Once we hit this 2 times, and then we had this bearish engulfing, that's where I entered right there, because I could protect myself with this level. Protect myself with this level right here. You know, obviously this trade idea is invalid. This is the one that was validated right now. So we're continuing on with our overall analysis. We're looking to get to this -27, -618 area. You know, this -27 has a lot of support here. So we're chilling. We're in a good spot right now. You know, if we come all the way back up to retest this, that's fine. You know, this is our level. This is our level that we traded off of, and we're just going to be patient. And, you know, inevitably we're going to see how that plays out, because if this thing does dump for us, there's a lot of pips, you know, to be had in this, because ultimately what we're looking to do is get down to this level down here, you know, all the way down here. So that's USEF, bearish right now. Let's go to NU. And this obviously aligns with the dollar index that Nick showed. Dollar index is falling, right? So all of these pairs against the dollar are gaining value, right? So that's an important thing for you guys to take note of. Let's look at NU. So NU formed another bullish setup. 1, 2, 3 candles, 3 bullish candles, 3 white soldiers. That's a bullish variation right there. So let's go to the weekly time frame. This thing, 1 day, 7 hours left. We could engulf here. That would be major coming off of this support level right here, this weekly level that we keep looking at. 4 hour time frame. 4 hour, we had a bullish trend. Then we started to break support, and then ultimately what we were looking at was we broke above this blue zone, retested, engulfing, long. right? Long. So yesterday, this was the two opportunities we're looking at. We anticipated regardless coming up into this area. Based on all the bullish volume, that was what we were anticipating. We were anticipating price to just continue into this area. Obviously, we got a lot of ranging in this area. Not exactly a pattern, like any pattern in particular from this. I guess you could actually say this is a flag. Let's line this up. So basically just like this, flagpole, let's bring it on, this, and then, the general rule is that the trend will continue on the size of the flagpole afterwards. That doesn't mean live and die by that projection, but, it's just something to look at. So that's what we're looking at right now with NU. We obviously broke out of this flag. What are good as you start to see these flags forming? Good places to take trades on these are actually at the bottom of these ranges, because you can squeeze. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing a full, like risking your full amount that you normally do, but you can protect yourself because it's very low risk. Like, as you come to the bottom of this and you see these like engulfings at the bottom, it's a flag forming. So, potentially you can take those positions, or, wait for a break and retest. Obviously, in this scenario, there was really no opportunity, like at least on this 30-minute time frame, even down to the 15 minutes. So, it just comes down to what is your overall analysis. We were anticipating getting into this range based on all this bullish momentum. Where could you have taken advantage of it? Obviously, be flexible with what you're doing. So now that we're up in this area, though, what I'm looking at, I'm not going to just long now. Like, look at this 200-day moving average. We got to break above here. We've got to break above. So let's adjust this. We have to break above the average of the last 200 days, and we have to retest this level. What is this red zone for you guys? All this is this is on the daily. This is a resistance level. This is structure. We even bring it back. Like, look how this previously fell below, or whatever, gapped below, found resistance, and then fell off. So this is definitely a key level. And this is also looking back at this 4-hour structure. These are some highs. So yeah, all we're going to look for is a simple break, retest of this zone. Ideally, we'd break above and let these moving averages catch up and retest those, and then get a lot of confluence and, head to the upside with this. So that's NU. Let's go to UJ. UJ's in one of these flags as well. UJ's in one of these flags as well. We've been literally maintaining this for days now. Let's go into the daily time frame. Daily time frame is overall bearish. Daily time frame is bearish, guys. Supply zone up here fell off. Remember, we're not going to just go from 100 to 0. We're going to range. Now we're ranging. 4-hour time frame. Reason why we're bullish, at least at the moment on the 4-hour, was based on the break of this resistance and above the 200-day moving averages. But shit's starting to point down. We got this level. We have a level of support forming on the 4-hour here that lines up with this previous level. So based on what we're seeing right now, we still have these opportunities in play. This flag is still valid. This flag is definitely still valid. We're going to want a lot of confirmation coming out of it. We're going to really wait for that break and retest. But on the flip side, and we'll move this over as well. Like, this is still in play. Like, we still could bounce off this level for sure. But with this in mind, that overall on the daily that we're bearish, if we break below this zone, so I'm going to mark this out. If we break below this right here, this is our zone now based on this level, and then this resistance, this resistance. If we break below there, retest, we're gonna go with the overall structure, and we're gonna short. So keeping multiple scenarios in play here, guys. We're balancing a lot right now, but at the same time, we know exactly where we're at. We're just going to be patient. Obviously, we do want to trade with the overall time frame. Yesterday, we got burned on UCAD, just playing games. But we're on the 4-hour right now. So the 4-hour is a good time frame to, like, get in on entries, get into profit, you know, be able to sit back and have patience and know exactly where you're at and stuff like that. So that's UJ. I haven't been looking much at GJ, but let's take a look. So yesterday, obviously, these were our projections. Let's go to the daily. Daily time frame closed bullish. So at this point, let's take off this bearish because we have a lot of bullish confirmation now. Three bullish candles in a row, which is definitely significant. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly time frame, we're coming to the moving averages. We're at weekly resistance. You know, I'm not too thrilled about longing at the moment. I'm still waiting. The same thing as yesterday. What's your favorite time frame? Look for entry. Like 30-minute and 1 hour. Favorite time frames, look for entry. So based on what we're seeing right now and based on this zone that I'm in, obviously this is very bullish. We broke above this red zone, retested, you know, starting to climb, just formed a, you know, not even a morning star, just like a bullish variation right now. So we're very bullish. Well, based on the fact that we're coming into this zone on the weekly time frame, right? Moving averages, you know, 61.8 area, right here on the daily, right here like this. I'm gonna wait on this. You know, GJ, I'm not too thrilled about what's going on right now with GJ. I'm just gonna wait and see more confirmation that we're gonna be bullish. This thing's looking crazy. So I'm gonna wait for a break above here. You know, some sort of pullback to show some, because we want to establish the trend. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is trending. Higher low, higher high, higher low. Now we're starting to really form a high. If we can get a nice pullback to some sort of like 38.2 on this, you know, on this 4 hour time frame, then we'll look for a lot of confirmations. We have them all right here ready for us, and then we'll you know, go long. So GJ, not too high on my list for now. Just going to continue, you know, watching UCAD, watching GU, USEF, and you know, NU, same thing as GJ, waiting on the 4 hour. And then UJ, same thing as GJ, you know, waiting on the 4 hour. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if we, you know, we break below this level. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of a dump right now, breaking some serious support. But we got to close. You got to wait. You know, you can't get too excited right now. You got to wait until the candles close. You know what I'm saying? That's when the breaks happen, the continuations. You know, right now shit's just being tested. So we'll see this thing dumping a little bit. So those are all the pairs: UCAD, GU, USEF, NU, UJ, and GJ that I went over. Again, you know, we just ripped through quite a bit of analysis. You have fear of missing out. Don't do any missing out. Just some psychology that we went over yesterday, you know, in our chat. Pretty much, this is how you got to think in terms of trades. You know, we had multiple trades given out. I know a lot of people advertise every trade wins. That's bullshit. You know, Nick can tell you he doesn't win every trade, and he's still, you know, a very successful trader. It's the reality of it. This is why you'll see a lot of real traders just chill. You know what I mean? Because they're not boasting about wins and losses and stuff like that because they know it's long-term longevity. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a little example. You know, we had a winning trade, risk reward 1 to 2.4. 2% risk is what we recommend on every trade. You know, reward was 2.4, so that means it was a 4.8% gain. You closed all the position at the last target at TP5. Now NZ CAD, stop loss hit, risk reward was 1 to 3, recommended 2% risk, so obviously it lost 2% on that. UCAD, stop loss hit, we recommended 1% because it was a late entry, minus 1%. So current account, you're up 1.8%, right? So that's just a little, you know, look in. Obviously, if you're risking 5% on these, then it's a little bit more, you know, that you're in profit, but then you're probably sweating bullets and you're probably shitting your pants and stuff like that. So, you know, this is just, you're good, Nick. This is just a little, you know, look in on the psychology behind having a real trading plan. You know what I'm saying?
This is also 1 week, right? And this is what we would consider a, you know, not our best performing week, obviously, and you're still up. You still would be up 1.8%. So if you like just compare that to any any other long-term investments, which, you know, are pretty common here in America, it's about 8% annually. So the fact that you're up 1.8% in a week, and this is considered a, you know, moderate to slow week for us, that's very, very good. You know, and back to
Also, think of it in terms of if you have a funded account, you know, you have 100,000 funded account, you know, 1.8% is about 2 G's, you know, for the week. So, and that's like Nick said, the market, especially this week, has been, you know, there's been a lot of opportunities for sure. And, you know, 2% a week can definitely keep the job away.
oh,
That's for sure.
you'll be very, very wealthy if you could do 2% a week. Very wealthy.
Yeah. So again,
Seriously.
yeah, so that was just like a little lesson on or on like risk management. Always have a plan when it comes to that. Know what you're risking. When you get in late on these trades, you know, drop your risk to 1%, or if you're risking 5%, drop to 2.5%. And, you know, be patient. Be patient, guys. So again, another session, Forex League Live. This will be recorded, dropped in the YouTube. And yeah, don't be giving back your profits. You know, our 10 rules, one of them is don't let winners turn to losers, guys. So when you get some winning trades, and I also read something about like another trader, like Nick does this, like he'll take small profits, like when he's up like 20 pips or so, just to secure a little bit of a win. Remember, there's swap fees, commission, there's all these things, you know, you got to be mindful of. So you want to secure a little bit of profit when you do get into profit, it's just good for psychology, good for maintaining your account, you know, against the swap fees.
You know, at the very least, 1-to-1, you know, look to ease your mindset. You know, if you're 1-to-1 and you're kind of sitting there panicking, like, oh my God, you know, I'm in profit, I don't want to lose this, I don't want to, just close some of the position then.
Oh yeah. So everybody in the signals room, let's get it today. You know, we're going to get some updates out to you very soon. For all y'all that aren't in it, obviously best of luck. A lot of material out there. If you guys want to watch some stuff, just hop on over to our YouTube channel. And this is the last live session for this week. We'll resume again on Sunday. You know, I hope you guys have a good weekend. And yeah, we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. So thanks, guys.
Peace out.